a lot of like fake.
Starting it now. Welcome to Token Take. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Cool. So yeah, like I guess maybe we should like introduce ourselves. Should we introduce
Yes,
ourselves?
go ahead.
Cool. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Sam. I'm one of the co-founders of Zomaya Labs. We're creators of CryptoTycoon. It's basically like a NFT monopoly game. I'm a person that used to work in real estate finance, and I would do the capital structuring, basically finding investors. That was kind of my job. I worked also part-time in Nintendo, just doing marketing. So I would just play games with kids, collect marketing data. Yeah, it was like such a great experience just to get to do that. And like I have a huge gaming passion, so I think that's why I naturally moved towards NFT gaming.
What was your favorite game from Nintendo?
Oh, dude, I played Smash competitively, like with all of my family. I've played like Mario games with my little cousins. I've played Legend of Zelda passionately, like every single series with my wife. Like it's kind of sick. Like I don't know, I've had a lot of Nintendo moments, I guess you can say, that have good IP.
Yeah, gaming is like a lifestyle.
Yeah, like I gravitated towards them. So yeah, I don't know. It was amazing experience working for them. So that's like most of my experience with that. And then COVID happened. And I was, you know what? I'm going into crypto full time, and I kind of was like a passive investor in NFTs, but also I was looking for an opportunity to do something beyond just like PFPs. And I noticed like NFT gaming, and just like I know that there's going to be an industry behind NFT gaming. Like I know it, like just as an investor myself, like I can see the utility behind it. So me and George kind of one day me and him will play a lot of games of Civ together. Are you familiar with Civ?
Civ?
Yeah, Civilizations. It's like a game that people play that kind of replicates literal civilizations, and having to do kind of like a Monopoly style beating each other. Yeah, it's like a live board game, but in a video game. Anyways, yeah, we play that and Monopoly a lot, like board games with friends. And we were like, you know what, this is a great idea to do. So it's kind of like my history, at least. What do you want to say, George?
Sorry about that. You kind of cut off there. It just cut off on me and then it reconnected. So I'm not sure what really happened, but I believe I heard the majority of what you had to say. But as for me, I'm the other co-founder of Zomaya Labs. My name's George. In terms of who I am, where I come from, just finished high school like several years ago. Went to college, became a practice licensed optician. I'll be honest with you, it's hard to work on this and that, but 95% of the time my mind's on this project. It's more of like a physical aspect where I'm just at work constantly thinking about this. I'm extremely hyped. In terms of crypto and background, like I said before, 2018, that's when I really started my crypto journey on the bear market, when I first kind of peaked off. I found a gem, obviously Chainlink, and just been holding on ever since. And now I'm here looking into NFTs. I really started my NFTs, I'll be honest with you, summertime of like last year, like 2021. And since then, it's just been a wonderful journey.
If you don't mind me asking, which NFT did you start with?
I'll be honest with you, it might be kind of hilarious, but it was Pixel Doge.
Pixel Doge.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I moved on to On-Chain Monkey, and I held that for quite some time. I'm looking at the floor price recently. I think it was about a week or two ago. It's at almost 2x.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Love it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a little bit about us, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, myself, I kind of started with what's called Crypto Kitties. I don't know if you guys heard of that one. It's on the network. It was actually my close friend who he wants to go buy Baller Basket at the moment because he doesn't want people to know his real name yet. But he sold the world's largest collection of number ones from NBA Top Shots.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he sold it for 1.05 mil.
Good for him. Good for him. That's what you want to do. That's how you do it,
Yeah, that must have been hard to pack, eh?
It was. I think he had a total maybe 73, 78 in total in his collection, and it was the largest NFT collection sold at the time.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I'm just seeing the UFC top the UFC drop pack. It's like a 0.375%.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
bought actually 5 packs on the release.
Oh yeah, did it go good?
I actually got some good ones.
Nice. I heard it was, for the most part, I heard it was underwhelming because just the odds were too crazy.
True.
Mhm.
But that's how it is. You guys gotta
Yeah.
take that gamble.
You gotta play the game, yeah.
That's how the game is, exactly. That's ours is gonna kind of be built like a booster pack. So like our Monopoly game, we want it to be one as fair as possible. So everybody that mints, it's 1 mint per wallet, basically. So you can start with only one property per wherever the map is. You're gonna start like on the map. There's 1,000 properties, and wherever you start is like the neighborhood you start in, and you try to collect towards the Monopoly. But it's a random start. So you could start with like a property that has an insane rarity, or it could be a property that is a common rarity. There's going to be like a huge variety of like properties in the game. I think it's going to be very funny. Like that's what I love, is that
That's
MB, like,
interesting. And
like
I've been looking at also your site and stuff. It's kind of like a mix between Minecraft or what's the other one called? Roblox.
oh,
I'm
I
like,
love our artist. So he's such a nice guy. He actually, while he's doing our art full time, he is literally like protesting in India because of what's happening in
Yep.
India. I don't know if you know. The crypto, they're doing like a crypto bill where basically they're kind of centralizing the way you do crypto in India, where if you want to pull your money out, you have to go through registered exchanges, kind of, so the government can kind of monitor a bit more closely like people's money and kind of control the flow of it. So like anyways, he protests like a crazy amount, and like when we first like met him and then saw his art, you said it right, it's kind of looks like Minecraft, and I freaking love it because it kind of has like a very like what's the word I'm looking for, like nostalgic kind of like vibe with it, because it kind of reminds me of games like Sim City, or like the reason why we're called Crypto Tycoon is because of games like Roller Coaster Tycoon and things like that we would play as kids. um so yeah, that's kind of why we picked him as an artist. So like I love his art. He's a great artist. I always try to feature him and everything. Like he's like part of the team. Yeah, like me and George founded the project, but like he is like fully part of the team. Like he's our artist. We brought him on. He has
That's
full.
how we usually are with like usually when we come in contact with people, and we try our best to keep people in the long term, right?
Yeah.
So it's not more of like a paid contractor. It's more like onboarding them on the team. So yeah, we got to
I think
build a
that's the
network.
way to do it. That's
so
the way
pretty
to
much
truly.
like another man in the machine to make sure things are running smoothly as well.
Yeah, no, like
Yep.
that's the way to do it, right? You know, like win-win deals. Like I think if like we truly win, and then that person actually truly wins when they're on, like they have a stake, then like I mean, shit, like everybody. Why wouldn't you want to produce some sort of deal like that, right? Like everybody wins. I don't try to never do a win-lose situation. Truly, like I try never to put myself in a situation where like if I win, someone else loses. That's kind of how crypto is. You know what I'm saying? Like with the way trading is, the mentality, like if you trade, you're trying to dump your bags on someone. That's kind of like the way it is. But I don't know. That's like not how we're trying to run this, at least. So like when we're doing our team, we're trying to like build out. Like we're talking to someone right now for our Discord, and we're trying to put them like on the team. We don't want to like just one-time pay. It's not even logistically like
Just to
smart.
make sure that pretty much everything, your vision's all aligned with one another, if that makes
Yeah, like
sense.
we're all a network.
Yep,
Yeah,
definitely.
you have to build a network of people. That's kind of how you got to start, right?
Yeah. And once the game's out, how are people gonna actually play? Like say whether they're like the special perks, anything that people could actually do.
Yep. So a good question. So we're this February 2nd, we're launching basically like our golden tickets to the game. So like we're doing 1,000 golden tickets, and they're like, it's anonymous. We're gonna try to do an anonymous drop of the properties, because we don't want anybody getting a property and then like you can kind of deduce what properties are left as we're minting them out. Do you know what I mean? So we're selling passports that are kind of like memberships to our board game club, because we're gonna do expansions. Like our vision for this is like, first of all, Crypto Tycoon, we want to fully build out this as like a Monopoly game. So the membership that people buy, it's kind of like the passport. We're going to airdrop for free our Crypto Tycoon social game. And the game is basically played like over Discord, like the same way like you were a kid and you would trade like Pokemon cards or like
Mhm.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like we want the community to kind of like degen out over Monopoly, because every Monopoly piece, we're going to try and tie utility to it.
It's not so
That's
interesting, like playing it also through Discord. Like, how does that go about? But I'm like, now I'm like really interested. Like, how does these dynamics work?
Yes. Yeah, I know. It's literally all game theory. I graduated in game theory, basically. Like game theory economics was my specialization, and I freaking love it. Like I love the idea of like, I don't know, like what is that guy thinking when I'm going to do this decision, right? And then just the entire aspect of how I don't know, like Oki works. But anyways, that's how the game kind of is going to be done. It's called a social game, but we're building basically a board game with the NFTs, and there's going to be like a rule set where of the 1,000, there are 20 neighborhoods. So if you look on our website, there's actually a map of CryptoTown, and you can see like the north end, what neighborhoods are in the north end, the west, east, south, and that kind of tells you the quadrants are the actual scaling of how we'll pay people out, because our neighborhoods, we're doing a bounty system. So anybody that collects, the goal of the game is to get a monopoly on per neighborhood. And the goal is once you get one, you'll actually get a cut of our treasury. And the treasury is funded completely by player trades. So we're the royalty that we're going to be taking from the collection, we're actually splitting it with the community like perpetually, so that no matter what, it's going to be filling the treasury. And the treasury is supposed to be something that we're building out that's decentralized, and it's just fully for player trades, player rewards, giveaways, events.
Yep. And that
you know,
also applies for the passport collection as well. And we haven't really spoke about this, so we're not too sure, but it might just be essentially every airdrop NFT or every game that we start, it would all be connected to that community treasury. So it just keeps growing, right? And the payouts get higher, the rewards get higher.
Ooh, that's wild. I love it.
Yeah, so that's our vision for it being like a board game club, like a Web3 board game club. Because Web3, the thing I love about it is that like you can kind of create these dense decentralized organizations, and I love that. I love decentralization truly to my core. So anything where I can create like the vision of it, where people control the treasury for themselves of the games, and we just kind of supply products that they themselves want. So like we're going to move beyond Monopoly, but also we're going to use the memberships for player governance. That's just kind of one example for our version 2.0 upgrade that we're going to announce. But essentially, we want people to run the treasury and run the game in a controlled way, obviously with like an invisible hand kind of way. But because at the end of the day, like having 1,000 people running an organization isn't very efficient, but it's what's crazy is DAOs can do it. So that's what we're working towards, at least our vision.
It's also in a sense just like launching your own token.
Oh yeah, we're moving towards that. Like our vision is like the properties, while people are collecting for the ultimate goal of Monopoly, each property you'll actually be able to collect rent within our token.
Ooh, okay, that's actually a really good tactic to do, especially
it's kind of like when you land on the actual Monopoly piece and you have to pay rent, right?
Yeah, just
we're trying to kind of incorporate that just a little bit, liven things up, right?
Yeah,
make it
one of the projects we love right now is Rug Radio, if you've heard of it. But Rug Radio, I love the way that their style is, where they're basically giving people out like these hierarchy of rugs that are rarities, and they pay people out tokens based off their treasury. That's kind of like a decentralized radio system. We're trying to kind of do that with board games, but there's like a game to it, like a social game aspect versus like they're a social radio kind of like it's kind of like a different lane kind of. But I really enjoy like what they're doing with their DAO and their system. At least I really like what they're. If you have you heard of Rug Radio, Javier?
No, I'm not, unfortunately.
Oh, bro, you got to check them out. Seriously.
And I'm doing it right now, actually.
Yeah, sincerely, you should. They're very big. I love Farouk, man. The guy speaks truth. You can tell he's from the heart. So yeah, I like their message.
Ooh, the site already looks pretty clean too.
Yeah, very clean site. I do like how they have their layout done.
It's awesome. And are you guys actually partnering with any like additional platforms, any other like cryptos that might be working with you guys? Or is this just all in-house?
All of us it's all us. We're actually working on partnerships that we can't actually fully say anything about, but that's all within house. That's the goal.
Understood. Yeah, because recently I actually did get in contact with, I might say the name wrong, but Helicon NFT for one of the projects I'm working with directly, known as Gen Meta. And
Sure.
they're actually willing to assist the project in order for it to go in marketing and also be shown in front of places that are actually interested in gameplay or any kind of play to earn game.
Sure.
Interesting.
I'm more than happy to like introduce them to you. So if you'd actually want to talk to them to see if you might want to be on the platform, but their main objective is just to get people to actually, they're trying to be the Netflix of games, play to earn games.
I love that. I love whenever I hear that from someone trying to be something, like Uber of whatever. I
Mhm.
love it. I
Yeah,
get
so-
you though. Yeah,
yeah.
I love, man, the Web3 is sick because it can connect you. It connects you
Yep.
to be able to kind of work with anybody too. Because I don't know. Yeah, I'd love to. Anybody working with anybody is like kind of our goal. Like we don't really scrutinize like that. We like are willing to help anybody or work with anybody. It's kind of how our like
Yep, everyone's equal,
Yeah.
Who's
We're
gonna
pretty
help each other
professional.
out.
yeah, straight up. That's how it is.
Yeah, I noticed that in their ecosystem when I was going through it, it's actually seems pretty straightforward and just a lot of things are just gearing towards is just helping any decentralized game on Web3 to actually work and operate better and to reach out more faces. And
Yeah.
their token just recently launched as well. So they're actually doing a big push to get multiple games on their platform. And for the most part, you have full control of what you're doing.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, they're like a consult. They're just consulting. They're almost like they're consulting for a new industry that's coming out now.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I forgot to mention our play to earn game because like we always we're trying to say we're a play to earn game because it is truly like you'll be collecting for Monopoly, but we're trying to make it like as Monopoly as possible. Do you know what I mean? Like to I don't know, like we thought of chance events. We thought of like the aspect of like every week we're going to announce like in random neighborhoods, people that are holders will get like airdropped in like certain relief events. So like for example, if like some crazy thing happens in this neighborhood, the government will give a payout for these holders that are holding these properties in this neighborhood. And this will happen every week. So every week we're going to try to be creating like a revenue stream for people to actually make as holders while they're collecting towards the ultimate earning channel, which is the bounty system.
Ooh, yeah, I'm looking at that too right here on the roadmap itself.
Yeah. Yep. And we have on our roadmap, we have like a lot of events planned for like our whitelist because we want to. I know one of the funnest things I did when I was younger, at least a few years ago, was when I was going through like ICOs and trying to get on these early lists and how hard some of that grinding was. I love that like I have the power now to create our system and it's really easy to get on our whitelist. And our whitelist to us represents like early adopters. Like they're the people that literally support us when our message is like the hardest to support. You know what I mean? Once no one's really backing it, that's like an early adopter, someone I consider to be someone who's really about our product. So they deserve like, I don't know, like cool perks. So
Yeah.
one of them is like we're doing like these charity events. Like I want to run these charity events where like they can gain. So like we're gonna be giving away like products for them in our first charity event. We're gonna be doing like a game night where they can do like bets, and we're gonna be giving payouts to winners. Just like a bunch of like just fun, dumb stuff we can do with people that kind of supported us as we're kind of building our story out. You know what I mean?
Wow. And with these charity events, like how many are you planning on doing? If like just
Dude,
gonna go all out on it, just to give away to people and everything like that.
well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, they're mint checkpoints. So like they're funding these events. Like at the end of the day, we're fully we're reinvesting everything we take towards this because we actually have a very long-term vision for what we have for this project. You know what I mean? Like we fully believe that we can actually build out something beyond this. Like beyond CryptoTycoon, we have a vision for if the game is actually completely consolidated. Do you know what I mean? Like every neighborhood is consolidated, but I don't know. I feel like people that fund us deserve to have that kind of put back towards being given out in these kind of like events. And I think like I don't know. I think it's gonna be fun. I don't
I'm
think it's
actually
gonna.
already interested in playing the game, honestly.
Yeah, I literally, if you, that's what I love is if I give my whitelist to anybody, they'll read it and they'll be like, oh, like this is a very interesting game. And like we've built out, me and George have built out something I think like, uh, I think
I
that's gonna
also
be.
had a really random question about this too. What about accessibility to kids for them to play too?
You think kids would want to degen on this game?
Oh, definitely. I actually have a younger brother. He's about 15, 16 years old. And
Yes.
I always show him like some of the latest play-to-earn games, him and his buddies, because he has like 4 close friends, I believe. Yeah,
Yep.
4. And I just have a group chat on Instagram with them. And I always
Yep.
drop the latest play-to-earn games. They're like, how can I play? I want to play. I want to play. All this kind of stuff to me all the time.
That's sick. I like that. That's cool. I don't know if we could go with that niche with kids NFT games, but
Well, just
uh,
let them have the access
they
to be on there to play if that's a
they can play.
possibility.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're gonna play. Anybody can play at the end of the day. Like if you have a wallet, you can mint, you can play. But to make one that's
Wallet, Discord, join it, and then you can
that's
start
it.
playing, trading away.
Yeah,
Cool.
literally. It's gonna be your. You just got to get a membership, and that's your. We're gonna basically use that as your wallet verification. So when you buy our CryptoTown, we're meant. Well, we whatever you're gonna be able to mint on our February 2nd. It's our membership. You use that as your basically verifiable admission into our private areas, which are like the trade rooms for the social rooms. We're actually making like a lot of dumb like areas for the community to LARP and just like do like community stuff.
LARP,
Uh,
love it.
we also have we're trying to build out like a Kijiji network for our like citizens, so like they can actually sell between themselves. But yeah, we're trying to like I don't know make it something fun, new, unique, um, and like and at the end of the day, we want to bring utility to people. So whatever that is, whether it's through community interaction or the treasury that we're building out, I don't know. I think it's going to be a fun thing that comes into fruition for people.
Perfect. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. From like our what do you think from like our white paper and our website, like is the mission statement clear to you?
Very clear. It's actually unique, especially the game theory, and it just how people can actually earn rewards and how they can play and what they can do. It's a lot more structured toward just making it a little more fair trial for everybody on a game.
Yeah. Yeah. I want it to be like social. Like I feel like most NFT games are like you're
And then
just
once
like
you brought up that Discord as well, just people also having to play on a Discord in a sense. I don't know how you
yeah.
guys do that magic, but that's going to be awesome to see.
When you were a kid, did you ever actually like trade cards at all with anybody when you were a kid? Did you ever have that?
Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Dragon Ball Z. I can go on.
Okay. So you're listing it. So like I want to make that with because NFTs you're basically creating digital cards, but if you create like an actual community of degens that love that like culture, I don't know. Like I think it's gonna be. I'm already envisioning it. Like I get really hyped when I think about it all the time. I'm just trying to build towards it. I have no expectation. I just like pray to God and I just go, yo, whatever comes next comes next.
Same
And that's
here.
it.
I can't stress this enough though. You want to hold on to the passport. It's not just for Crypto Tycoon. I'm just giving people heads up. It's going to be your
Yeah.
entrance to pretty much any game that we come out with as far as we're concerned as for now.
Yeah, all future airdrops are going to be done through that. It's almost like your access token. It's going to be like your Genesis access token. So we have 1,000 seats to a perpetual game service almost, and it starts with Crypto Tycoon. We're going to expand that board fully out, and then like if it's fully collected, it'll be considered like a legacy board. But that's number one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and the board itself, 1,000 plots of collectible NFTs. Would you ever plan to like say grow this out to even be bigger than what it is?
No, I think 1,000. I like the club of like 1,000 board game like seats, so like people can hop in and out. Like I love Squid Game. Like we were making this. I mean, it has nothing to do with Squid Game, honestly, but I love the idea of like a revolving amount of finite seats that people can hop in and out of. I think some people should hold them like will be in the membership perpetually for a long time, but obviously there will be some people that will hop in and out of playing whatever thing they're doing, right? Um, so to say that to expand it, I think that'll happen in future airdrops for people to actually join the economy. But for the game, no. I think you know what I mean, George. You agree with me? I think our vision's kind of clear that like we kind of want it to be manageable because a community once you get to like 10,000 isn't as close
Yep.
as
Well, the scalability thing, right? So it's even easier to talk to people and get trading when it's like not as many people, right? Obviously in the Discord chats, when you're talking about these Discord channels with 10,000, 20,000, or even 50,000 members, right? With 8,000 online people, it's kind of quite hectic, right? So we're not really going for more of just conversation. We're going strictly game talk, right? So it's all going to be in that trade rooms, but it's going to be difficult talking to one person trying to square out a deal with them when there's maybe 100, if not a couple thousand more people trying to get a better deal. So that sort of starts to get a little muddy,
You know what?
right?
You know what's crazy? We're talking about this, but like, you know what's gonna happen is in the future we're gonna, because this is truly what's gonna happen. We're gonna give governance over the players, and we're gonna
Yep.
put this up to players too.
Ooh,
Like,
that sounds
you
juicy.
know what I mean? Like I'm gonna put up to the players like, yo, are you guys okay with expanding the game? Like, you guys are a club of 1,000. Like, are you guys okay with getting more seats in the game? Because it will technically devalue your seat. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're willing to expand the game. So then I'm going to leave it up to the governance, I think, too. Like, I'm trying not to make it like a centralized thing. You know what I mean? You with me, George?
Yep. 100%. I agree. It's just at the end of the day, once we come out with that DAO, it's going to make the decisions much easier because we'll have a community to vote upon things, right? And our direction moving forward on pretty much anything.
Yeah.
True. Hopefully some of my questions weren't like a little outrageous though, especially with that one I asked about the kids. But I know for a
I love
fact,
you.
like, even for myself as a kid, playing games online was something that didn't think was possible until like computer games came out. Because for the most part, I was playing more Nintendo, PlayStation, PlayStation 2, Xbox, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So I think that might also be something useful to maybe have something within it for kids to play as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Definitely.
I think like they're all those things are, you know, what's nice is that in Web3, those kind of expansions are easy to directly get to people without centralized channels. Do you know what I mean? Like, with blockchain, I can kind of directly drop our next product to members that hold it, and it's all verifiable and it's all like on chain. So like, it's a trusted network that I didn't have to build out. It's kind of just sitting there for me to utilize. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, like it's building this out for people, like adding expansions and stuff. Like, it's going to be very easy to kind of build out and be accessible for people. It starts with CryptoTycoon, which is accessible to anybody. Like we said, like if you have a wallet, if you're old enough and like you are competent enough to get a wallet, then obviously you can play our game. We don't have any like adult content. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not. When I'm judging through our content right now, like I'm looking through it, like I don't think we have anything that I would consider like 18 plus. So like, it's really accessible to anybody. It's just a property, you know what I mean? Like, it's an NFT property trading game.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, there's 20 neighborhoods, and I gave them all kind of like Bitcoin cultural identity to each neighborhood. Because we've been in the space for a bit. So like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's no adult content or vulgar content or anything like that. We kept it very friendly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I was thinking about something else, but the CryptoTown passport, I apologize. I'm like kind of my train of thought. Apologies on that.
No worries. That's the membership we were talking about. So basically, that's like the NFT that represents like a person's membership to the service of our airdrops. So our first airdrop, because we're not going to airdrop any properties until like all of the seats are filled to the game, because we want to make sure that they're all dropped at the same time at random. Do you know what I mean? So it's just fair. Like, it's a fair drop for everybody. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Plus, like the cap, the way the mint cap works is that we're going to make it so it's one person per seat. So it's probably going to lengthen like our mint life cycle, but that's okay. We have like events planned in our checkpoints for people. But yeah, the memberships kind of represent like access tokens, like original Genesis access tokens to access the servers and play the game. And the properties that we're going to airdrop to people, those are the ways to access to our earning channels. Because in the treasury, we're going to basically unlock ways more to unlock the properties, but also that's the way you get to a neighborhood bounty is stacking those NFTs almost like cards, like collectible cards almost. Or like when you play Monopoly, you literally are collecting neighborhoods. You know what I mean? And you're trying to get to a Monopoly. So it's kind of intuitive. It's intuitive in that way. You know what I mean? Like anybody that has played a Monopoly game, like it's intuitive. I love it. I love the idea. I can't wait to play with some people. We've been talking to people in the community, and like a lot of them love just like how they can't wait to drop into like just whatever neighborhood. Like anybody will be like, oh, I want to be in the projects. I want to be in Satoshi Square. I want to be in
Hollywood Hills. That's a good one.
On Business Park. That one is the one I'm looking on now.
Yeah.
And I see that the drop is on the 2nd as well. So February 2nd, 2022. That's what I saw that you guys listed on Twitter.
It's coming up. Yep, it's coming up. So we're listening everywhere we can. So like our website, Twitter, Discord, all of our channels that people can
don't click any links if you get any before. We'll make sure to announce it on our Discord and Twitter for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of freaking scamming nowadays. We're never gonna DM you any like this is your mint address. No, like you go to the official server, official links. That's where you access things. That's what most people should do. Anything else is like gray area. You should not be doing that. Scammer area.
We'll never DM you. We'll never DM you.
Like, yeah, we'll never DM you links. I can DM a friend, but I'm never going to DM a link. I'm never going to DM things to, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, we got to avoid all that stuff too. Just to make
there's been so many hacks and like scams the last like several months. It's been quite
you follow
insane.
any of like the Discords, Javier? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of Discords that get caught in like these traps from people that are just scammers. Like,
yeah, I've actually met quite a few people already in the NFT space where they kind of just created an NFT and then just pulled a rug pull or did something like that where they got scammed and then all their tokens got stolen. Or some that didn't even deliver on the product itself. I was like, Jesus Christ. And it's all because of somebody making like a fake link, spam link or something random like that.
Dude, it's like perpetual. It happens. It's like it's still a wild west. You know what I mean? Like crypto and NFT is still a wild west. So this is still going to be.
I call it modern day piracy.
Yeah, it's modern day piracy. It is. It's crazy.
In a sense, we're kind of chasing digital coins. So back in the day when pirates were chasing also those treasure chests coins too. Tomato.
Yeah, it's just human nature. Exactly. It's like timeless. You know what I mean? You get whatever arena will do the same things. Yeah.
Do you guys also need like any NFT listing calendars? I have like a full sheet of that as well to also help you guys out if you want to list it on there.
Yo, God bless you. Whatever, hey, any resources a community member will be willing to hand out, I'd love to take them in. Like we're trying 100%. To build our network. We're kind of new to NFTs, like the community. Like I've never doxed myself. I'm gonna be honest with you, Javier. Like I'm a very private person. The fact that like I'm showing my face is kind of tough for me. I'll be honest with you, but like, hey, at the end of the day, like this is my project, so like I have to put my face on it and my seal of approval, which I do. And that's what me and George kind of decided when we doxed ourselves. We're pretty private guys, so
privacy is a thing for everybody, but I think it's a good thing, especially if like launching a really large project like you guys are going.
I agree. That's what exactly that we came to that decision when we were like, you know, at the end of the day, if we ourselves were buyers, I try to put empathy into it. So like if I was a buyer, how am I going to look at this project? Like, do I trust it? What are they offering? I try to look at it always from the perspective of the buyer, at least. So just to give utility and value, but yeah, doxing is number one, at least. That's what I think. The days of like Bored Ape Yacht Club where people don't dox themselves, I think are over.
Yeah, that was like May, June of like 2021. I think to make a project more valid, you must, right? Make yourself more trustworthy.
Yeah, there's way too many scams now involved too. It goes as far as like say for Gen Meta, Ape Fund, and a few others that I work with. They actually openly share like all the team. They even share like the wallets as well that they have as well.
Yeah, even us were shook to do that because we're scared to get hacked. Like that's one of the things. There's so much hacking going on. We're like, I don't know if I want to post because like I told you, we're private guys, so we're working on that. But like, we want to be as transparent as possible with people. So like things like full wallet displays and stuff is obviously key. It's just like day one stuff that like people should do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, like it's crazy to me the way the space is. Like you have to dox yourself, or I don't know. Like there's even George. Like he was in a project. What project was that, George? That you you got rug pulled in. I forget what.
It was like 4 months ago, man. As the Mad Lads, it was quite tricky. So I was using Nansen, like the analytical tool.
Ooh, I
And
have
I was
that
showing, yeah, there was an exploit I think at the time, and I'm not sure if they fixed the bug or not, but they basically made it seem as though these people were minting when they weren't really. They were just sending it to that address, right? So they
Yeah.
kind of manipulated the look of it, where you think that they were minting a lot, and in reality, you're just sending it right to their address.
It's like simulated numbers. Interesting.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I just sent you guys also all the NFT calendars as well for you guys to list the project on.
Cool. Thank
Yeah,
you. Man.
thanks. We appreciate that.
So all these should also help you get some organic SEO coming to you. I noticed it helps out a lot of people I shared this with as well.
Thank you, Javier. How long have you been doing this for, by the way? I never actually like asked you a bit more about like, you know, what you've been doing.
Well, I want to know more about your project, especially since you guys are the creators of it.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, I just like to meet new people, I guess. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I mean, we've explained a lot about it. Like we have those chance events that where people are gonna make money through. We're gonna expand our treasury, but like we don't have the full details to tell people. We're actually putting it at the 50% checkpoint just because we have some partners that we cannot disclose, that we're trying to build out a tokenomics that is like fully fair for people. Like that one, there's no ability to arbitrage, there's no ability for anything like wonky within our economy. Do you know what I mean? It has to be built up correctly. So those details not fully out yet, but I can tell you that like we want to build a system that's intuitive for people, that like it's kind of monopoly style, so that like as you're building towards a monopoly neighborhood, each property you'll be able to gain utility from just from holding it through our treasury, and that'll be done like just collecting through our token every we're deciding what the interval is, and there's going to be rarities to every property. Then each property will be depending on wherever quadrant you're in. You'll receive those different like earning channel events. I think that's fully everything I can explain about the game. That's fully, we're gonna, you know what's crazy? Were you going through the Discord stuff yesterday?
I will.
You know that Discord went down? Do you know that? Yeah. It was so annoying. And you know what's crazy is we're building our community to be on Discord, to be hosted on Discord almost, right? Like our servers for members to, we're going to use like collab land for people to verify their wallets, but technically it's being hosted on Discord. So like,
I understand. Yeah, that's the thing, right? So there's a lot of like there's actually that, and also OpenSea recently they announced, I think 2 days ago, where they're limiting collections up to I think 50 items and only 5 collections you can make up to. Cause a lot of backlash, mind you. But they did that without any announcements, without any updates on anything or anyone to anyone, right? So that also could have affected our collection had they not reversed that call. So there's a lot of things that's kind of not in our control, that's making us think twice about the platforms we use. So it is a possibility that we might move to a different platform or make our own.
Make your own.
In the near
It's always
future.
awesome to make your own one, but it just takes all the time.
Dude, it's crazy. I was like, yo, first of all, OpenSea is what I would consider like the platform for people to post their collections, right? Like that. Would you agree with me, Javier? Like OpenSea is kind of the king right now.
OpenSea is the king mainstream for it, but also even Solana's kind of picking up some traction. Like I think it was Trump's wife. I think it's Melania. Created
I've seen that, yeah.
Even Mike Tyson, he's launching his own NFT collection too on Solana.
Oh, trust me, our artist loves Solana, and he really wanted us to launch on Solana, but we decided that ETH is a more like premium chain, and that like the scalability issues can kind of be fixed, but the things like decentralization are more important to us. Like if you looked at the 3 pillars, do you know what I mean? Like, and looked at Solana and looked at Ethereum, and you decided like decentralization, security, and scalability. What's like the 2 out of 3 that you can decide for the trilemma? And like ours are decentralization, security, and then we'll move on to scalability because there's things like layer 2. Do you know what immutable X is, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's layer 2 protocols that can kind of address that. So like I freaking love Solana, and I love Samar, our artist, who loves Solana too, but we're going with ETH for now. It's, you know what's interesting? Isn't Melania's Trump her book, or no, it's not her book. She's doing like quotes, no, or phrases.
She is.
No idea.
Yeah, it's like phrases. She's doing like inspirational phrases. It's crazy what people can do. I don't know.
I
I don't
know
know if it's
Tyson is launching pigeons. He's calling them iron pigeon or something. I forgot the name.
genius. That's genius.
There's a
I
lot
like,
of celebrities getting into this space. Cheech and Chong just dropped their reveal today on theirs.
yeah. But no, you know what the way to do it is all the people, like if Mike Tyson was cool, he would drop that and he would take all, because he's got enough money for sure. He would take all the royalties on that, all the profits, give it to doves. Like whatever dove foundation there is for birds, let him give it to pigeons. Sorry, not doves, pigeons. That's the thing. Let him give it to pigeons. Whatever. But like I think that's the way they should do it with those for celebrities, honestly. You know?
Bring back like carrier pigeons, stuff like that. That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, like what's he doing? Do you know what this project's about? Like he's just making a project about pigeons. Like he's just like, I got a niche about pigeons.
I haven't
So,
like so deep into it. That's all I know is that he's making an NFT project on pigeons. My
Okay.
business partner actually brought that up to me maybe a week or two ago at most.
It usually just sounds like a get rich quick scheme. Usually, that's what I think of whenever I think of like celebrities hopping in to anything. Usually, but I don't know. It depends. Like the one dude, who's big in this in NFTs, Andy Milanakis. He's not even that big of a celebrity, but
No
he's
way. You're kidding, right?
he dropped. Do you
He's
know?
in there,
Do you
yeah.
not know his collection? He
No, I
dropped
didn't even know. I thought he was like disappeared altogether.
Yes. No, yeah, you're right. I mean, hey, that's possible to think about. He dropped I think it's called Goat Soup. This is like free advertising for him, but yeah, it's just a goat and soup.
You as a kid.
But it's smart. He's created like a social club with it. So if you get it, you get access to all of his like drops. So he's gonna do more things, whatever. He's creating like a exclusive community with the goat soup pictures that he's dropping.
Gold soup. Wow.
Yeah. Hey, there's a lot of them. There's so many freaking PFPs, dude. It's like a sea. Like there's like any animal, you name it, that's a PFP for sure.
At this point.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what else you want to say, Javier, but I think Melania Trump's Solana game is or Solana phrases might be the most wanted thing this year, I would say.
Most wanted thing. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Actually, for the most part, myself, I'm actually involved in this new NFT project that's also going for the play to earn aspect that's known as Gen Meta.
Hmm.
Right now, I've been spearheading majority of the aspects of it as well as running this podcast.
Cool.
Nice.
Gen Meta is primarily just focused on futuristic gameplay battles with play to earn features because right now I recently onboarded a team of Unreal Engine developers and I'm getting to work on the gameplay. And we even got this really lucrative artist from Mexico. His name is Raccoon.
Raccoon, cool.
Raccoon.
I like it.
And he's been literally knocking out the art like it's candy, like 3D concepts.
Yep.
If you check out the Instagram, genmeta.io,
Yep.
you'll be able to see like the 3D art, some of it. That Raccoon has been working with some of like the biggest artists around too.
Yeah. Some people are just blessed with like art skills, man. Beyond me. Just they are like, you give them an idea or a concept and they just fully take it from mind to paper. It's kind of crazy.
Also, it's on the Solana blockchain. I'm just checking it out here.
Gen Meta?
Yeah. Right. Make sure I got the right one here.
Yeah. We're putting it on a Solana blockchain.
Nice.
Yo, man, the market's been taking a huge hit. Solana, everything's taking a big hit these days.
Well, think about it like this. Biden did just recently do like an emergency, whatever, an executive order on crypto on the 25th, so about 3 days ago.
Yep.
Russia went out. So Russia, China, two big.
Yeah, I know. Love those.
I'm not gonna lie though, the point of crypto, the meaning, the way it started at least was for decentralization. I think we're kind of going away from that in terms of global, like on a global scale, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean, George. Like it started like originally when like banks were like kind of enemy number one and after the crash, and then like Bitcoin just like dropped out of nowhere, and people were like, yo, we need a platform or some sort of currency that's finite that goes against like central bank protocols.
Right. I think it was because of inflation as well at the time, right?
Yeah, I
You know,
don't know.
inflation's still going on to this very day.
I think in
Yeah.
the US we went up about 9% in inflation.
Dude, we're from Canada. That's like all people talk about here now. I love it. I could feel it in my bones when I was like looking at the amount that they were spending, and then like they were just every finance minister here was like losing his job, and I was like, what the? These guys are losing their jobs, and they're then you could just see it coming. I don't know. Whatever. What can you do?
That's what it is.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
got no
adapt and
control.
overcome.
Yeah, you just roll with it. Exactly. Yeah, it's just kind of like timeless. I feel like there's always just going to be bureaucrats. It's almost like how it goes.
Just gotta make the most with what you got, essentially.
Yeah.
I'd say that's how this market's gonna be. Only the strong survive in this market.
Oh man, it's always been like that. Man, crypto has been like when I came to crypto, it was Shark Tank. Like people will get liquidated, and it's like it's like accepted. That's what's crazy. Like if you go to the stock market, it's not accepted that like well almost now because what happened with the GameStop thing, but it wasn't accepted at one point that like bots were wash trading people almost like that like people that there was like a player on the other end that was like actually actively trading against people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that wasn't a thing for like real estate or retail traders, but I don't know, like crypto has been like that. Like there's always been like market movers basically just controlling
It's lions of tigers and bears out there. That's how I feel towards it.
yeah, it is sincerely, but like that's why at the end of the day I think if you add something to the community, like that's truly how you grow. Like I will continue to invest, but like this project is like us now trying to grow with the space, because I know just as a person who's looked at like, do you know what I mean, like the actual industry, like it's going to grow beyond what it is now. Like it's going to continue to grow. That's what's crazy. Like I've been in the space for not even that long, but it feels like since forever, like pre-pandemic now, which is even another thing in itself just to think about. But I don't know, there's a lot of growth, a lot of room for growth in crypto.
True. Always room.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what happens.
Even when I look at the charts, I just tell people, man, just like zoom out, like make your time horizon like just a bit further, and everything is just so much easier. You know what I mean? And
Zoom out of charts.
How about recording? I think we're done talking about everything for this stuff too. So let me